What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube. This is my first video of this format, so we'll see how it goes, how we rock, how you guys like it. I wanted to make a video because I get a lot of questions in my DMs, and a lot of people ask me a lot of things, and I try to be as receptive and responsive as possible and answer as many questions as I can. But when I start getting the same question over and over again, it's a sign, right? And a lot of people are either curious about something or they're trying to figure something out, and there's not enough information, possibly, or they're looking for me, whatever the case may be. I feel like there's a strong case for making this video that I'm making today, which is discussing the difference between ChatGPT, GPT-3, and why I don't believe AI will be taking anyone's job anytime soon. So you don't have to worry about that. So as you can see my screen, I'm on ChatGPT right now. And if you've played around with it, you know it's fairly simple and straightforward. As soon as you get to the site and you sign up and get through on OpenAI and create an account, you just go to chat.openai.com/chat, and it's right here. Okay. GPT-3 is similar. I was creating an outline for this video, which I may or may not end up using. So let's leave that open and come over here. So this is the playground. This is GPT-3 playground. Okay. So the biggest thing to know about the difference between GPT-3 and ChatGPT is ChatGPT is essentially a fine-tuned version of GPT-3. And the CEO, Sam Altman, has actually come out and said this himself. So I'm not just pulling this out of thin air. OpenAI has confirmed that ChatGPT is a fine-tuned model of GPT-3 specifically designed for conversation, to reply conversationally. So GPT-3 can give you all kind of output using natural language and do code and a bunch of other things, which ChatGPT can do as well. But ChatGPT is specifically designed to respond in a conversational manner, which I believe makes it more intuitive, user friendly, and easier for people to pick up and play with right away, where GPT-3 can be a little bit more complex, which is what I think is one of its biggest advantages. And I'll get to that in a second. So ChatGPT is essentially just a watered down version of GPT-3. A lot of people think it's better. Me personally, I don't, because like I just said, you get to, we could go over to GPT-3 right now. Let me move my big ass head. So as you could see over here on the side of the screen, you get a bunch of different options and things that you can change and tweak. And this determines the output that you get. So one important thing to understand is that these large language models don't technically know English. They don't technically know what you're saying, right? So these models were trained on a bunch of data, like billions and billions and billions of documents. In those documents, what the neural network has done is make associations between all of these words, right? So it creates its own understanding in its own way. And scientists, Stanford research analysts have come out and even said that they still don't understand how these AI models work specifically. They're really like a black box, but they don't know English. It just predicts the next word in a sequence of words. That's what it does. Okay. So when you change these parameters, you tweak the words that it selects and allow it to go maybe off track and become a little bit more creative, or you can have it become very rigid if you're only looking to give straightforward answers. Say as like an educational tutor, you don't want a tutor to start talking all wonky, right? You want it to stay on track, so you would adjust the parameters. ChatGPT doesn't give you any of these capabilities. So they have an API for ChatGPT, which allows you to build your own apps, website, and essentially use the model for commercial purposes, whatever you want to use it for, whether you want to create a tutor or a mentor or a coach, whatever you want to do. Now, I'm not 100% sure on what the API entails, but assuming that the ChatGPT model is way more heavily regulated, let's say, than GPT-3, I'm assuming that they're not going to give you much flexibility in the API, not as much as they would give you with GPT-3. So why I like GPT-3 so much more is, for one, it's way more robust. It's not fine tuned, right? And all a fine tuned model is basically a focused version of the larger language model. So the model's trained on so much data, right? You could think of it like a big Amazon warehouse, and it's a big Amazon warehouse of data. So when you type in your prompt, whatever you're trying to get the model to do, it has to search through this entire warehouse to give you your answer. When you fine tune the model, or you could do this through prompting, but it just saves you time and automates the process to fine tune. When you fine tune, you specify the knowledge and the aisles and the part of the warehouse that you want it to go get information from. So instead of having to go through the whole warehouse every time you put a prompt in, it goes to a focused part of the warehouse, of the knowledge, of the database. So you would use a fine-tuned model. Say you're creating a financial sales rep, you know what I mean, that's going to talk to people and try to convince them to get a loan. You would train it on a bunch of conversations that pertain to someone trying to get people to get a loan, and you would give it the ideal answer, that like common questions, and then the ideal answer, and you give it all of that data, and then you tune it, and then it basically answers. It takes that data, and then it trains itself, and it learns from that, and then essentially it becomes an expert in whatever you trained it on. And the quality of the data really matters. So the better the answers and the better the responses, the better the model will turn out. So I fine-tuned a few models, which GPT-3 allows you to do, and you could see all the models over here, you know what I mean. And mine is down here. It's third mine. I call her Maeve, and she's basically a marketing consultant slash mentor. So whatever questions you have related to business, entrepreneurship, creativity, maybe you're stuck, she's like Chat GPT, where she answers conversationally, but she has personality to her. You know what I mean? And she has her own specialized knowledge that she pulls from, which makes her unique to any other model. So anyone could use any of these models. And if you've been watching any videos or anything about Chat GPT or GPT-3, you're seeing people say, oh, you could have it write an entire article for you. Just say, write an article about YouTube, you know what I mean? And then it'll just spit out a whole article, which, yeah, this is true. But like I said, these models don't understand English. All it does is pull from words that it thinks are the next best selection in a pool, right? It's like an algorithm, but it's a whole nother level. It's an intelligent algorithm. So the simpler your prompt, the simpler the responses are going to be. And my theory is that as more and more people start using GPT-3 and using it like this, there's going to be a flooded amount of content that's low level, right? So there's already so much content flooded on the internet. People are worried about these models giving people the opportunity to make more content. Yes, it does, but there's still other steps and work that you have to do. And to be honest, it's already very easy to just spin up an article or copy and paste and run it through a machine that moves the words around, you know what I mean, and changes the phrasing. They already have those have been around for years, you know what I mean? Or you could pay someone on Fiverr for $5 to do whatever you want, and it's simple. So I don't think low quality content is going to be as big of a problem as some people are making it out to be. I think what's going to happen is the level of quality is going to rise, right? So now it's in the dirt. As more and more people start using AI, very simply, it's going to rise. But the new low quality is going to become these very, very simple articles written by AI. You know what I mean? That's just my theory, but I don't know anything. So there's an art to writing prompts. There's an art to communicating with the machine. There's an art to getting it to give you the best response possible. And I teach you how to do this in my course. It's called Staying Ahead of the Machines, where I teach you everything you need to know about these large language models and exactly how to get it to do what you need it to do at a very high level. And a lot of people are promoting these models as ways to make quick money. In my opinion, that's not how it works. It can help you make content and help you brainstorm. But in my opinion, what it really does is help you save time. But time is money. You know what I mean? Time is money. So if you're able to save a significant amount of time every day, it adds up through compounding. So you save 2 hours a day every week, that's 14 hours. You know what I mean? You could just keep adding that up per month, per quarter, per year. And at the end of the year, you done saved a week's worth of time just by using a tool. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest benefit from these. Not it's going to help you do XYZ really fast. That's bullshit. They're selling dreams. A lot of these people that make videos that tell you you're going to be able to get something for doing nothing, it's all cap. It's a dream. And people are going to buy those dreams from now. They've been buying them forever, and they're going to buy them until the end of time because people want shortcuts. I'm here to tell you that's not how it works. And it's in your best interest now to start learning and interacting with these tools because they're game changers. I've been using GPT-3 every day in my work and business for almost a whole year now, and I've been using it and really tinkering with it. I've fine-tuned my own model. I'm working on building out my own apps, and I've really ingratiated myself into learning as much as I can about large language models specifically. There's a bunch of different type of AI, but for what I do, which is like creativity, marketing, business related things, I think these language models are going to be more impactful than any of the image generators. You know what I mean? The image generators will help you save time and money as well. But in my opinion, I think that language and communicating through word, and then you can always make that into video or any kind of other medium. I think that has great benefit, especially digitally. So those are the difference between ChatGPT, GPT-3, and the basics. And the reason I don't believe it's going to be taking anyone's job is because these machines are still tools. There's a lot of hype and hoopla around everything right now, but it's not as autonomous as they're selling it. And these people don't know shit. They just started using it last week. They don't know anything, right? And they're trying to sell these dreams that it could change your life in a second and you don't have to do any work and you could type in a few words and it's going to just do anything for you. That's not how it works. It's not realistic, You have to know the ins and outs. Instead of being an engineer having to know a bunch of code, you're going to be an engineer having to know English language and how to communicate with the machines using words like a scientist, you know? So I think we're still a long way away from AI completely replacing jobs. It's going to keep happening slowly because what's going to happen is the people that embrace it, that are already smart and already talented, are just going to become even more powerful. And they're going to need less help and less people around them. So in that case, it is going to replace some jobs because people are not going to need as many people helping. They're going to be using the AI, which I've been doing all year and I plan to continue to keep doing. I don't ever want to not work with people, but I want to automate and alleviate as much work as I can. You know what I mean? In a smart way that doesn't sacrifice quality at the end of the day. So that's pretty much it. That's it for this video. I plan to do more of these where I'm going to go over AI, business, creativity, entrepreneurship, just all the things that I'm into. You can't really put me in a box or in a niche. So, subscribe, look out for the next video, take what you can, and leave the rest for somebody else. All right. Peace.